Well, welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today we're going to do this Brazilian agate. I'm going to make a sample out of it because I don't have a big enough saw to cut it. So I figured I'd just polish up the face. I did have to cut off a lobe here just to get it where I could cut the face that I cut. And as you can see, it's not a very good cut. I got this ledge here where I had to turn it. I thought it was tall. I thought it was going to be short enough to fit in my saw, but when I got up there, it wasn't quite right. So I'm going to go ahead and polish it up and leave it as a sample. Maybe I'll get another saw in the meantime, or in between the time I finally get rid of it. And I'm going to start on the 80 grit. Just making sure. You never know about me. I need to put a brace in this. It's getting a little saggy. Might not take as long as I was thinking. But while I'm stopped, yep, I kicked the camera. Well, the tripod anyway. This is the piece I took off of it. See, it's not very thick. And that may not be a fracture either because it's got so many wavy lines in it. That may be where it was filling from. I don't know. And I don't know what I'll do with that. I may polish it up and just leave it as a sample to go with this one to show what it looked like before I cut it. Almost couldn't get that picked up. You can see the lines a lot better now. I think it'll look better with light behind it too. Sorry. Didn't mean to blind you. I thought of that earlier and thought it would probably look cool with light behind it because that lighter skin keeps it from blocking out much. Although some of these darker spots do block out much, quite a bit of light, the yellow spots. Yep. That looks good for some reason. Oh, I'm getting close. That gouge is still pretty deep over on this side. This one's getting smaller. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. I couldn't hardly lift up that stone. I wasn't gripping it tight enough because I didn't want to push down while I was trying to get my grip. Okay, I'm back. Figured I'd fill up my water while I was breaking. While I was on break. It was a paid break. As much as I'm normally paid anyway. Zero. Okay, I believe I finally got the gouges out that I had over here from the cutting. I had a big gouge, deep gouge here, and another big deep gouge over here. And I finally got those out 8 hours later. I've been grinding on this for 8 hours, not straight, because I couldn't do that. But I still got all kinds of scratches from this wheel, though, or from this disc. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the 100 grit, because I think they might be from the 80 grit kicking chips off the edges. Or I've got high grits, or bigger grit on this outside edge, a couple of pretty good sized ones, it seems like, if not more. Yeah, that's why I had to put out an older video from the 4th of March or April. One of the two, I don't remember. April. It was April. I just had to equate the numbers with the month. I remembered the numbers because I just uploaded it last night. It's Sunday. So it was, and it was, oh, it was a sample. Missouri agate. I think it's in either barite or stillbite. More than likely it's barite, but I'm not positive. I was told once what that stuff is, but only once. And he had a nickname for it, and that threw me off. Because he clarified the nickname, but I can't even remember the nickname now either. And I had some chipping going on over here. It was chipping away as I was grinding it. But I think it's going to be all pretty good. As long as I don't have too many high spots or larger grits on this 100 grit. Try to stay away from the outside edge of it. But I think on one of these I had some on the inner edge too. As long as I can get them down shallow enough that the 220 or 270 grit will take them off, I'll be all right. Well, it's amazing what you'd accomplish when you get all the gouges out of it. So I'm ready to go to the next wheel already. I still have some scratches in there that might show up, but hopefully the 280 will, if the 270 won't take them out, I'll drop back. But I'm kind of anxious to get this damn thing done. Well, you might want to move that out of your way so you can shut it off first. You can't very well dry it with it spinning. Yeah, I figured the weight was going to be bad enough, the weight of the stone. So I wasn't adding any pressure to it when I first started at all. And then when I was getting those scratches, I realized that it wasn't touching any of the other crystals on that side. It didn't seem like, or wherever the scratches were, it didn't seem like there was anything else done to that section. So it was like it was missing that section completely, because you can usually tell, for instance, now that I've had it on there for a few seconds, I'm gonna get it to dry. I'm only hitting, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the shininess, but the shiny spots are where you can see that's what the wheel is actually doing at the moment. It's not touching the other stuff yet. And I don't know how the center got lower than the outside, but I didn't know how the center got was higher than the outside with me running it before. But it was, because it started in the center and just slowly grew from the center out. But it wasn't growing very fast when I wasn't putting any pressure on it. So it was after I put the pressure on that it started growing fast. Still got one of those bigger scratches left in there. And I still had some little ones around this edge. They might be gone now though. Or at least down small enough that I can get them out with the next disc. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that 270 though. As far as for getting off scratches. Because the 280 will get them off just fine. And go to the next disc. I'm going to get this done tonight. That'd be nice. Hopefully you can see the scratches on there. They're not real big scratches. But there's where it was chipping out on me, right up in there. Let's try it on this one, see if it comes out better. I haven't been showing this one much because it's at an odd angle to catch the light right. Oh, and I didn't turn on my other lights. That might help. Well, it won't help this one, but oh well. They show up pretty good because they're white, but they're not really all that big, so. And I got to figure out a different way to store these, because it's warping some of them, and then when I put them on the base here, they don't want to stay stuck to it on the edges. Okay, close enough. Can't get them all the way centered for some reason. It's just hard to do because it's sticking to the plate like it's supposed to. Hey, don't turn that on while it's pointed that way. like turning the machine on was going to spray water all over the place. Hey, that's keeping it quiet. A little bit. It's a little bit quieter anyway. Just lean something up against that aluminum. Lean the bottle up against that aluminum, my spray bottle. Okay, I'm back. I took this over to the 280 grit on my flatlap, or on my cabin machine, so I could get those scratches out that I can't seem to get out any other way. They're bigger than 60 grit scratches, it seems like, or bigger than 80 grit scratches, I should say. I don't have a 60 grit for this machine. I got a 60 grit for my 8-inch, but I haven't used it. And those scratches wouldn't come out with an 80 grit. So there's something wrong. And I know I wasn't getting them out and bringing them back because they were running the wrong direction from where I was going, from the way I was running the stone. And them scratches never changed direction once. They were deep, and it may have been crystals breaking, or pieces of agate breaking off around the outside edges, or the host, or whatever, drusies on the outside, whatever it was. But they got me frustrated, so I decided I was going to stop last night. That's why this is the 4th day I've been working on this rock. I've got probably 14 hours in it so far, 15, just on those steel discs. I did take it to the 270 at one time, but I couldn't get out the scratches that I thought I put in with the 325. I couldn't get out the scratches with the 325 that I thought I put in with the 270, but that wasn't where they came from, evidently. It was while I was using that machine, but I think those were crystals breaking out, because I just had a big chip out up here on this section, right there. That all chipped out on me. I got a nasty gouge over there too that I didn't see. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it out with this machine either, but I'm going to try. And I don't know how I got it. I know I didn't get it against any of the other machines. And I got it. I guess I ought to shut that off. Shut off the water. Now it's got it rounded on that edge. And it's still got some gouge around it, but I may be able to get it off with this. Might want to turn it on before I start trying to run that stone on there. And I don't want to take it back to any of these supposedly steel discs. I don't like them. I don't think they'll work right. They got too many large crystals in there, or large pieces of grit in all three of them. Getting where I really hate working on this machine, although it's really needed for this exact reason, because that's too wide to do on these thin wheels. I did it on the softer wheel, on the 280s, it's a softer wheel, and I did it on it just because I knew it wouldn't leave gouges on the edges of the wheel. If I got it rounded a little bit, it would leave a little bit of a gouge, but it wasn't going to be much. And I tried to keep it as flat as I could, although one end of it, I rounded off this here where it was chipped from when I cut off, or when I cut the stone. I'd already cut this piece off and it chipped all this out a little bit. I've still got a little bit of a chip on this corner, but I don't think that's going to affect anything. I don't know if I'll be able to get that to shine on this flat lap though, that curved edge. But I can always take it back over to those wheels just for that edge. It looks like I got a little bit of that whole side's curved down, clear around this part of that. When I worked that on that, over that 280 grit over on the other machine, I tried to make sure it was, I forgot to zoom that in a little bit. I was trying to make sure I didn't make it unflat, but as you can see, it didn't work out all that well. It was flat all the way across, but now you can see where the stone's hitting and where it's not. So it's not quite flat anymore. But it will get that way before I get done. I may go back to, I think I'll go back to the 270. Actually, I think that'll work better. Although I don't like the 270, it just doesn't seem like it's a 270. It doesn't take as much off as my 280 grit, which is a smaller grit, which doesn't make any sense. But the quality control on these is about shit. You can see hopefully you can see it. Let's try it on this machine. You see the darker spots? That's piles of resin that were left on here. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in other words, that's a high spot, probably with grit in it, although it's not leaving any scratches. So I'm lucky there. But if you look, you can see that they're shiny also. So they are coming off a little bit, but just not too good. This might take it down to flat a little quicker. At least it should. That don't mean it will. My original discs, I had to buy 100 grit. It came with an 80 grit. Oh no, I had to buy the 80 grit. It came with a 100 grit and a 270 grit. And then it went straight to 12,000 or 1,200, and then it went to 3,000. No, it had a 325. 325 straight to 12,000 is just too much. That's why I bought the 600 this time, or 1,200. It went from 325 grit to 1,200 grit. So I bought a 600 grit this time. Okay, I'm back. I've had it. I'm giving up on the flat lap altogether. I don't like that thing. The 270 wouldn't take off the scratches from the 280 over here. Well, it wouldn't level it out. So I went back to the I started on the 325. It wouldn't level it out. I went back to the 280 or 270. It wouldn't level it out. It was still taking forever and forever. And so then I took it back to the 220 or 270 grit. No, I had it on the 320, 600, then the 325, and then I took it back to 270 grit, and look at the scratches I got back from the 270 grit. Now those are bigger than the 280 grit scratches I had from here, a lot bigger. And that's not sides busting out or anything like that, because it wasn't anywhere near the sides, as you can tell by the polish. all around the outside edge. So they didn't come from the outside edge because I wasn't touching the outside edge. Plus I got some more down here going right here on this, which I don't know how the heck that happened. Maybe up towards the center of the wheel. The high discs that are there. But I'm going to finish it off on this. I don't give a damn if it's rounding or not. I'm tired of it. 14 hours, 15, 16 hours, because I worked on it for 2 hours on them other two, on that today. And I said hell with it. I'm done. And just like that, it's ready for the next wheel. Before I start on that next wheel though, I'm going to do something here. Get my little puck light. Yeah, didn't think so. Not really bright enough to light this up from the bottom. I was hoping I could use that to just set it on. But it wouldn't set up on there anyway. The plastic sticks up too high because you pop the plastic in to turn it on. Works good for showing off other agates because it puts the light behind it. And you can hold it over it like this and go around. That's what I got this with my tonneau cover for my pickup. The cover for the back of the bed. And I didn't use it. Because I figured it'd be in there, and the only time whenever I'd go to use it, the battery would be run down by the time I went to use it the first time, so I decided not to put it in there. And then I was showing off agates one day and trying to figure out a better way to light them from behind. Because I was having trouble, so I used that. Come out pretty good. And as many times as I've said just like that today, here's another one. Just like that. And it's done. It'll be about an hour. If that. I'll check the footage on this and see. I don't know what's up with this. I need to get some regular lights that's got bulbs in them instead of LEDs, because it's leaving a dark spot in the center of my screen going down the middle. You couldn't even see my finger. Down the middle of the screen here. I couldn't even see my finger. I think I will take this to the aluminum oxide though, just to, no, I won't. I won't need to. You can see the different hardnesses in the layers. See if I can get it to show up. I don't think so. I can't get the light coming across it. I don't know if that's showing it good enough or not. So that's showing the top light and this light on the camera. But anyway, we're going to call that another lesson learned, and I'm going to quit using that dang flat lap, period. I believe I'm going to see what it's going to cost me for a 16, 18 inch, somewhere around in there, vibratory lap, vibratory flat lap, because I think that'll work better. Still can't get that to show up right. I'm sorry, I forgot to show you what this looks like with the light coming through from the back. It's probably not going to show up very good on there, but you'll be able to see the lines, I think, better that way. Except with these glasses, I can't see if you can see the lines. So it's not a very highly prized agate to begin with. And just running it up from the bottom doesn't help much either. But this ought to do a little better. Hopefully that shows you the lines. So it does have fortification lines in there. I just can't get them to show up on camera very good. Hopefully that comes out. If it don't, I'll not put it in. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let me turn this where you can see me. Not that you want to see this ugly face, but please like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment, leave a tip. Let me know if you've had the same problems with the discs on these flat laps for Covington. I don't know if it's Covington or where they're getting their disc from, but I'm going to call them and find out if they still got any of the metal discs, because they lasted a whole lot longer than this one, and that was even mistreating them. I think it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years since I bought that, and I just recently, last month before, got new discs for it, and wow. Really made that fingernail old and jagged. Squirrel. I ground it down this way a lot. I think it was picking up stones on that, or picking up stuff off that flat lap over there. I'm surprised it's still there. Yeah, let me know if you've had any problems with these flat laps. If anybody's watching it that actually does the lapidary or not just interested in the stones, which doesn't bother me either way, whether you just want to see the stones. I could make some videos and just show off a lot of my cabs and that kind of stuff. I don't know if that'd get boring or not. If I kept them short enough, I don't think it'd matter, especially if I showed off the better ones. Some of them that aren't really worth anything, aren't really that high a quality stones to begin with. But and stay tuned for the next one, which should be out tomorrow, or no, Friday. Tomorrow's Tuesday, or Wednesday, sorry, not Friday, Wednesday. I'll put it out tomorrow night, which will probably be this one. It'll probably come out tomorrow night. I should be able to get it edited in time. I want to go ahead and try to do this one today. Wow, that's dripping water. That's how much water comes over the edge of that. This guard needs to come out a little ways, but if it does, then it's going to block you on. Well, I couldn't get a stone out that big anyway. Sorry, another squirrel. That's what happens when you get old, your attention span gets shorter. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get this one done today too, so that I'll have another. Otherwise, I've just got one day in between uploading, and that don't help much. That doesn't give me enough time to edit and do the stone itself, except for on this machine. But thanks, and have a good day.